this moment, getting the win over here, and so many of our guys contributing. Christian Keeley has really been struggling and makes 2 jump shots there in the stretch for us in the second half. Justin Pierce made I think he made a 3 for us. Yeah. Garrison was big. We tried to get the ball to him as many times as we could. Armando was big, except for the turnovers and those kind of things. But they're just, to me, they're really scary because Markel and Braxton and those guys shoot the ball so well. Needless to say, we called them on a night when the ball didn't go in the basket for them. You look down at me, I thought we did a nice job on the boards, but we only outscored them on the boards 14-10. But we were able to go to the free throw line down the stretch, and B-Rob made 4 or 5, I guess, late in the game. I'm stunned that Garrison missed his, and he's one of our leading free throw shooters. Made 17 out of 18 in one game, but missed 2 in a row that were 1-and-1s. And then Christian goes the line and misses 2 in a row. So it's that part was very discouraging. But having B-Rob step up there and make his free throws down the stretch, I thought was huge for us as well.
You've had some double-digit leads in games in the last few weeks that you guys didn't close out. What was the difference in closing this one out tonight?
They missed some shots. You know, I'm a guy, I've told you guys before, I think the game's never over. I sat there my first year as a high school coach and watched us come back from 8 down with 17 seconds to go with no 3-point shot. And so I think the game is never over, but I think that what we did is that they missed some shots that helped us, and then we got some offensive rebounds. And other than Garrison and Christian during that stretch, I think B-Rob was huge stepping up and making his free throws. I guess somebody else missed a 1-and-1 or.
Armando missed the first, then G missed 2.
Yeah. So we had a lot of opportunities and didn't come through with them. So B-Rob making his was crucial for us. But again, we're fortunate they missed some shots.
In the first half, you had a 5-point lead and then lost it with 5 straight empty possessions. Had 4 quick baskets to end the half, 3 baskets to start the second half. What was the difference between those possessions where you scored and the empty trips, which had 4 turnovers?
Well, I think I was getting ready to say, you look back at it, they were all turnovers. We didn't miss for 1 shot, I think. But their defense, you know, they get after you, they pressure you. They have those guys who have a nose for the ball. I think Armando turned it over 2 of those times. They were running at him, and Funderburk is a tough guy to try to score over. But I think KJ gave us a nice little bit of play a couple of times there, and then I think it might have been one time when Andrew goes back or lays it up too. But I wanted to really get off to a good start the second half and try to see if we could keep the crowd out of it. We never could get enough separation to get the crowd out of it, but got the ball to Garrison, and he made enough plays for us.
Roy, do you feel like they understand kind of the spirit of what you said with the least gifted comment in terms of they have to play a certain way in order to be able to win?
You know, I think that's the most normal statement. It's got the most unbelievable attention of anything I've ever seen in my life. But what we try to do all the time, whether you're really gifted or not, is to do what we ask you to do. So we work on execution a heck of a lot. And I think that this team has to do that. Last year, if you think about it, we had Luke May and Kobe and Cam, those guys that could jump up and make a 3. Even shot clock's winding down. We haven't made many 3s as shot clock's winding down this year. So I do think that we have to work and do a better job of our execution on both ends of the court. And whether or not we're the least gifted or not, I'll go back. I wasn't very gifted, but I love to freaking compete. You know, and sometimes you got to have that part of it too.
Roy, you mentioned how B-Rob stepped up.
I'm sorry.
You mentioned how B-Rob stepped up and making those free throws, but just can you sort of speak to his toughness as far as being able to?
Well, you know, I don't know. He got hit in the ribs.
Right.
You know, I thought it was his ankle again, but he got hit in the ribs, and Doug says he's got a rib problem, and he says he's ready to go. You know, I said, "Can you play or not?" And he says, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, then play." And they fouled him and made the free throw, so he takes coaching really well. No, I think the toughness. Here's a senior. He missed the first 4 games. He's missed another game. He felt like he was beaten up tonight, and nothing until when I went over, I just told Braxton, I said, "I know you had nothing to do with this. I didn't want anybody to think that I was, because I didn't make any gyrations or anything, but it looked to me like both of them were going for the balls, all it was."
Coach, why do you have so much success against NC State?
Pardon?
Why do you have so much success against NC State? You're 36-4 against them all the time.
If I knew that, I'd try to do it against everybody else too. Think that part of it. We just, I think that what we do is we try to get ready to play. And Wake Forest, NC State, Duke, those people, Duke gets so much attention. that you have to be careful, I think, that you don't give the other people the right kind of respect as well.
Is there a big man in this league that's playing as well as Garrison Brooks now in all respects?
I don't think so, but again, I just watched the guy go 0 for 2, 0 for 2 from the free throw line, you know. So I told him I could fight him right now. He's played really, really well, and the other team's defense is aimed at him. They've put a load on him, and we're not real smooth offensively. I mean, he's jumped up tonight and shot 2 from 18 feet, and one of them was a 3, I guess, wasn't it? I mean, so we've got to get better offensively. But he's carrying us right now, yes.
Last week in Blacksburg, you said after the game you thought the team was getting better. In what area have they improved the most since
So
maybe?
we're getting a little better defensively. I didn't like some of the breakdowns tonight. We started one way to play the screen on ball. We switched it to half, and then 4 or 5 minutes in the second half, we switched again. And I'd like to say that we switched just to give them different looks, but the fact of the matter is, I didn't like the way we were guarded, so we were looking for something. But I think we're getting a little better defensively. I think they're understanding a little bit about how intense you have to be to play in this league and at this level. And I think it's most of the guys we're playing have been young guys anyway. And with Armando, with Cole when he was with us, Leakey was 16 or 18 games last year, and he's one of our top 3 veterans. But I think they're understanding the intensity that you have to play with.
Take 2 more.
Do you get a sense of how you all played against Virginia Tech had some sort of a carryover effect into Miami and then here?
You know, guys, if I could figure all that out, we wouldn't have lost everybody. But I think you've got to grab some roses and say, hey, we did a better job of this. We did a better job of that. We did a better job of this. We're trying to get better. We're trying to give them some confidence, and they've got to add more to it too. So I think we did some better things against Virginia Tech. If we make one free throw, they miss one shot. You know, they had another shot. Just like tonight, I think we lead the world in people making shots as the horn's going off. They had one, and you know, we had right before the half, we had a wide open layup. We throw it 40 feet out of bounds. So you got to go back and look at those mistakes you made and try to get better at that point too. But you know, again, it's just college basketball.
One more.
Before you go, would you be able to share your thoughts on the news yesterday with?
I'm sorry.
Before you go,
Kobe.
can you please share your thoughts on the news yesterday with Kobe?
Oh, you know, we're all here, and we need to enjoy everything you get out of every day. Do the most you can, be the most competitive, be the most caring, have more feeling every single day, because you don't ever know what's coming around. But that is so sad, and to have a 13-year-old daughter on there just makes it, I'm not saying Kobe deserved it either, but just, you think about it, there's no way that family, can ever get over this. I had one of my best friends lose a grandson to cancer, a 5-year-old, a year and a half ago, to almost 2 years ago. You can't ever get over that. So, number one, he was a great player. Great player. One of the toughest competitors. Michael told me one time he really liked the way he played, okay? But I just think about the family. That's so hard to, what do you say, what do you do, what next step do you take? And so I just say they're in my thoughts and prayers, and it makes the game of basketball awfully small. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. I'll lock up the
Please
floor.
let the coach lead first.